That's the Lord telling you that you shouldn't date him. He's not right for you. But once a cheater, always a cheater. What's up, pals? Welcome back to my channel. If you're just watching for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and turn on your notification buttons. So today on the show, though, we're talking about the top 10 reasons why you shouldn't date a guy, or top 10 reasons why you shouldn't date him. The dating world is actually a very scary place, and sometimes you're going to ask a lot of questions before you go ahead to date him. So if you're actually in the market for the reasons why you shouldn't date him, or if you're searching, or you're constantly asking yourself, is it right for me? Is it the one? This video will actually put you or answer those questions. You want to stay tuned. The first reason why you shouldn't actually date him is if you find yourself always making up excuses for him because of how he looks, or because he has, the Trey Songz kind of body. Then you shouldn't date a guy just because of his physical appearance, because he's just, very, very fine. We all want fine people. There are days that his cuteness can be enough for you. So please don't date a guy if you find yourself always making up excuses for him just because of how he looks. Definitely don't date. Now the second reason why you shouldn't date him, though, and this is like a very big deal breaker for me, is if he spends more time on his looks than you do. Imagine you all are going out for a date, or you all are going somewhere, you're done, all made up, looking nice, and he's still there trying to apply gel on his hair or comb his hair, or he's still just not ready, or he keeps changing. And why would you want to spend more time on his look than you do? That's actually very wrong. Don't date him if he actually spends a lot of time on his looks, or if he's always so worried or bothered about how he looks, or the only thing he spends his money on is clothes, accessories. He's always in the barber shop trying to get his next trending haircut. That's a very big red flag. That's the Lord telling you that you shouldn't date him. He's not right for you. The next and third reason why you shouldn't actually date him is if he's always talking about his ex-girlfriend, like he's so hung up on her. Like you find him always talking about his ex. He still has a picture on his phone. He knows where she lives. He knows who she's currently dating. You really don't want to date him. He's actually really not ready to be in a relationship. You don't want to be that girl that is always, trying to get her man from the ex. If he's always talking about his ex, if you find him always talking about his ex-girlfriend, calling her, texting her, just wanting to be around her, always talking about her, please don't. The fourth reason why you shouldn't actually date him is if he has actually cheated on an ex before. Definitely don't date a guy who has cheated on his ex, because he's definitely still going to cheat on you. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Okay, you don't want to date a guy who has cheated on an ex before, because there's a very high tendency that he will do the same to you, and I really don't want you to get hurt. So please don't date a guy who has actually cheated on an ex. Now the fifth reason why you shouldn't date him is if he doesn't pay or offers to pay when you all go out. Like you all are in a restaurant, or you all go shopping, and he's always bringing up excuses about how he left his ATM card at home, or how his bank is having issues, or how he's having some financial troubles. Says you don't want to date him if you're the one that constantly has to pay the bills. Like you're not a sugar mommy. If you want somebody to take care of him, then he should be specific about what he wants. You really want to be careful when you want to date a guy who is always making excuses about his finances, or if you know he's constantly into debt, or people are always calling him to pay them up. You definitely don't want to date a guy who doesn't own up to his financial responsibilities, or a guy who is always in debt. And the sixth reason why you shouldn't date him, though, is if he's a mama's boy. Oh my god, you really want to you really want to be careful if you find out that he's a mama's boy. His mom is always, all over him, or all up in his business. You really don't want to date a guy that his mom is always all up in his business. You want a guy that is independent, a guy that can actually make his decisions on his own, not a guy that needs his mom's approval before he can actually, make major life decisions. He's always going to put her decisions before yours. He's always going to put what she says over yours, and you really don't want to date a guy that you can't have a say in his life. The seventh reason why you shouldn't date him, though, is if he doesn't want to be seen with you, always tries to hide your relationship. Like he doesn't want you to know his friends, he doesn't want you to know where he stays, he doesn't want you to come visit your room. He might actually be hiding something. He's not seriously down for you. A guy that loves you will flaunt you. A guy that loves you will show you to his friends. A guy that loves you would want you to meet his family. A guy that loves you would want everybody to know that they are with you. So if he's always putting in extra effort to hide his family, or to hide your relationship, or just tries to keep you or hide you away from his family, then you don't want to date him, though, because that's actually very wrong. Now the next reason why you shouldn't date him is if he's hot-tempered or quick-tempered. If you've noticed like a couple of times that he's always getting angry every time over the tiniest thing, or he's very very hot tempered, then you actually really want to be careful, because chances are that you all might get into an argument one day and he might just get angry and hit you. That's actually how abusive relationships start. You want to be really careful if you find out before saying yes to him that he's actually quick tempered or hot tempered, or just gets angry over the silliest thing, because girls are petty. I am petty. You're gonna get him angry one day and he's gonna want to hit you if he's a very hot tempered person. So you have to be careful. You really want to be careful. 9th reason why you shouldn't date him is if he's too touchy, or he's always trying to get you into bed. If he's always nagging about how you all should jump into bed already because he feels it's the right time, then he says you shouldn't date him. Or if he's always too extra touchy, he's always trying to touch you around your cleavage, or he's always grabbing you even when you all are out and you are not the kind of person that likes that, then you definitely don't want to. The last reason why you shouldn't actually date him is if your friends don't like him. If they're actually, piling up excuses as to why you shouldn't date him. I feel like you have to have a talk with your friends and ask them why they really don't like him. Is it because of the way he dresses, or they feel like he has bad character? Most of the time, the chances are your friends are actually right. So if your friends don't like him, they probably have seen something that you cannot see through your love goggles. So you actually really want to be careful if you're going to date a guy that your friends don't like. And you can actually try to convince your friends, or you can actually try to make them come around. But if they constantly are just if they refuse to come around and tell you that they don't think it's right for you, then I don't think you should actually date him. That's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have other reasons why girls shouldn't date a guy, please don't forget to leave it in the comment section. Please subscribe, turn on your notification buttons, and just follow me on all my social media handles. I'll leave the links in the description box. I love you, pals. I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Don't date a guy that just only has his facial don't date a guy that if you're old, don't want to date a guy like that. I'll be back with another. What am I saying? That's it.